Hey, what's going on, everybody? Chris Meaney here of FTN. It is a game 5 tonight in Florida between the Panthers and the Oilers, 8 Eastern. I'm going to share a few of my favorite NHL props with you guys. I think the series is going to be over tonight. I think the Cup is going to be won, just like last night in the association. Had a big blowout win by the Mavs to force a fifth, go back home. And the Celtics took care of the Mavericks. And I do think that this game will be competitive. I think it'd be close. I hope it goes to overtime. Let's get like one of those 3 or 4 overtime games that we've been hoping for here in the playoffs. So we just really haven't seen. The trend over the past couple games has been the over. I do have the lean to the over 5.5 goals. I have the lean to the Florida Panthers. Already have that 18-1 future. Not going to bet the Panthers money line myself. Thought about maybe the Oilers as like kind of a hedging opportunity there. But I think the Panthers are eventually going to win the Stanley Cup, if not tonight, in maybe game 6 or 7. But I think they'll take care of business this evening. So I wanted to share a couple of my favorite props with you guys. And yeah, I mean, the trend, I said earlier that I thought the series is going to be high scoring. I'm certainly wrong over the first 2 games. And Florida didn't do their part in game 4, but the over has hit in back-to-back games, 8 goals and 7 goals, and even 5 goals were scored in game 2. So we're right there as well. But my favorite prop is Carter Verhaeghe. I'm in on Carter Verhaeghe. No surprise. You guys know that this is one of my faves in the NHL. Kind of inconsistent here in this series, but back home, there's a bit of a track record for him in the playoffs and throughout the regular season as well. So Verhaeghe for 3 shots, minus 155 at DraftKings. Check out the alternate shot props over at DraftKings. For whatever reason, the alternate, sometimes the price is different. I don't know why. I think he's like minus 160. If you just look at shot on goals and you go to alternate, you see minus 155. Verhaeghe, 3+ shots in 7 of his 11 home games. He also has 10 points over that span as well. He's roughly minus 154 to pick up a point. He's averaging 4 shots per game in Sunrise in the playoffs in Florida, 5 shot attempts per game in the Stanley Cup Final. And I just think him being at home, the last game, there were some shots from him and Tkachuk, and that second line, I think, has been really strong in the playoffs. Paul Maurice made that switch for Verhaeghe, Matthew Tkachuk, and Sam Bennett. Sam Bennett, again, has been plus money for a point. He's been picking them up. He didn't pick one up last game, and he's in like 5 or 6 games in a row where he had a point. The other guy here that has caught my eyes, Tarasenko, I think I've said this since game 1. Game 1, the third line was noticeable. Out of all the lines for the Panthers at 5-5, they led the Panthers in goals and shot attempts and scoring chances and shots and high danger chances. And Vladimir Tarasenko has been pretty darn good in this series, right? Ranger fans are like, this is what we thought we were getting last year for Vladimir Tarasenko. So he's got 2 goals and 3 points in this series. At 5-5, he leads Florida in goals, shots, scoring chances, and high danger chances. This number has moved since I put this in the Discord yesterday. It's not on me putting in the Discord. I just think other people are on this. Like, it has moved to the point where it may get up to minus 170, 175 in books. I still would take that. At this time of the season, it's really tough to find edges. Books are sharp. You get into parlays and you start getting yourself into trouble. I would still take this as a minus 170 play if it did get up there because of the attempts. The mismatch, I just find the Panthers, that third line is just having their way with Edmonton's third line. When Corey Perry is playing on your second line, and I know that Knobloch, he mixed things up a little bit. He put Ryan Nugent-Hopkins on that second line with Draisaitl. But if they're down in the game, they're going to load up on the line. And it's just, Paul Maurice is going to roll his 3 lines, and he's going to play the 4th line here and there. But even in the last game, he was playing a lot of just rolling the 3 lines over the last 2 games. So Tarasenko has been extremely noticeable. I think he's, I don't know if he's even sneaky anymore for a DFS showdown play. But Tarasenko, Lindell, Lusteran, and these guys they've checked some boxes throughout the entire series. And at 5-5, Tarasenko is leading the way for the Panthers. The other guy here is Sam Reinhart, and I know he hasn't cleared since game 1. The attempts have been there for him, and we're just getting a discount. Like, didn't want to jump on these guys at over 3.5 at plus money. Didn't feel too great about the under because I know what they could do. Just getting Sam Reinhart at minus 145 at DraftKings again as an alternate. I think the big boys are going to show up tonight. They're going to be very, very aggressive off the hop in front of their home crowd. They're heavy on the forecheck, and I like the Panthers tonight to put up a lot of shots towards the goal. McDavid, going back to him, right? Just didn't work out in the last game. I don't think he needed to be super aggressive. Putting up an 8 spot, he picked up the 4 points, but McDavid has been pretty consistent. I'd say over the last 6 or 7 games in terms of shot attempts and getting to this number, right? So he's fresh off the 4-point game. Yeah, he's got back-to-back games at least 2 points. Another must-win game. Going to be hard to keep him off the score sheet. Ice time's going to be there if they're down in the game. Maybe he'll be a little bit more aggressive. That's the game script that I'm pitching. Florida gets off to a pretty good start here. Maybe there's some goals in this game, and Edmonton is just leaning on their top guys. So look at some of the shots. He had what do you have? 5 in game 2, 6, 3, 5, and 2 in this series. So he has cleared this number twice in 2 of the 4. But again, an aggressive McDavid tonight. And those are my favorite shot props. I do have Draisaitl here to share with you as well. This would be like a secondary one for me, even though he has hit in 3 of the 4 games for Draisaitl. Same sort of deal. Ice time was down for him. He's definitely not 100%. I'm seeing him pass it off a little bit more on the power play than we're used to seeing, but he still takes that shot from the goal line at least once or twice a game just from the power plays alone. So he has had at least 3 shots in 3 of the 4 games in this series, and we're getting it at minus 135 over at DraftKings. And then from there, I want to look at the block shots. So Aaron Ekblad for 2 block shots, I got this in the tracker, is minus 165 at BetMGM. We had this for game 2 as well. I'm going to drink a little bit of the juice here, and I'm going to talk about maybe a potential ladder here with Aaron Ekblad. So 2+ blocks in 6 straight games for Aaron Ekblad. And over that span, he's had games with 4 blocks, 5 blocks, and 6 blocks. BetMGM is minus 165 for 2 blocks. Bet365 is plus 190 for 3 blocks, plus 500 for 4 blocks, and 11-1 for 5 blocks. I think it's I think you can treat it like a unit for the 2 blocks. Then you go maybe 0.75, 0.5, and 0.25. And if he gets 4 or 5 blocks, you're loving it. You're gonna have a successful night. Here, if you're watching on our YouTube page, I have Nurse and Ekblad for 2 blocks each at plus 110. In case you didn't want to take that juice, Darnell Nurse 5 blocks in his last game. He's got 2+ blocks in 7 of his last 8 games. And the one game that he didn't get to 2 blocks, he only played 4 minutes. Actually played 4:20. Great number. And he had the 1 block in the 4 minutes and 20 seconds of action. So he's been right there for, basically 2 straight series now, going into, I would say, two straight series now, the 6 and the 4, maybe even close to 3. He's been, say what you want about his game, right? He scored the other night. Plus minus is not great. He's had some pretty brutal moments in the playoffs, but he's providing those grit categories. He's hitting them for your fantasy squads. And then there's going to be some point parlays here. Actually got a fun one I'll share with you on the way out. Why not? Let's end with a bang here. So Bouchard and Hyman for points, plus 120. This didn't work out in the first couple games. I was off it in the last game. Of course, it worked out there, but still pretty value for old time's sake here. Bouchard and Hyman plus 120. Get the power play goal. They're most likely going to be in on it. Barkov and Reinhart points plus 120 as well. If there was a third that I would add, it would be Kachuk and Verhaeghe. That would be one that I'd add. Some solos that you can consider would be maybe Ryan Nugent-Hopkins solo point. Hyman's going to be a little bit juicy there, but this is my card. This is what I'm rolling with. They're not going to have about 30 picks here. We still have a couple things that we're hoping for here tonight. From our futures video that we chatted about, we had a couple things that we're looking for here. Bennett, 2 shots in every game in this series, 5-1. McDavid, 2 shots in every game of this series. We had 2-unit play on that one, around plus 135. Leon Draisaitl, 2 in every game as well. Verhaeghe, 2 in every game. So we're hoping that we can get those and the 18-1 with the Florida Panthers. And I understand, there's a lot of Oilers fans out there. People want the cup back, north border in Canada. I would like to see this series get extended. I would like to see 7 games. It's what I want to see, man. Hasn't been a lot of upsets in these playoffs. There haven't been a lot of lengthy games. Maybe we can get one of those tonight. And the NBA playoffs certainly they weren't extremely entertaining. So let's get a fun game here tonight. I'd be fine with Edmonton winning the game. Let's get the Panthers eventually to raise the cup. And, Bob is a slight favorite right now. and Barkov is right behind him. I would say, given what I've seen in the finals here, Barkov would be the nod for me. He's getting it done offensively. He didn't shut down McDavid in the last game, but he's done some really good things defensively as well. He's had a strong playoff run, but maybe it's one that you want to bet live if you don't have anything involved yet, like a future, or you're not in on any one of these teams. You can potentially live bet it. If the Oilers score a couple quick ones early in the game, then I would lean to potentially Barkov there as well. And we're not going to give it to McDavid, even if he loses. I saw a couple people talking about that, and I just don't think that's going to be the case. Our guy Shemansky says in the Discord, the only way he thinks Florida winning the cup with McDavid winning the Conn Smythe would be to pass Gretzky, and I believe we talked about that as well. Him and Evan Bouchard chasing down Gretzky, but he's still 10 points away. So we need to go to 7 games. He'd need to rack up a couple more 3 or 4 point showings. He certainly could do that. We know that he could. But I do believe that the Panthers ended tonight the slight lean to the over. So for Hagee, 3 shots, Tarasenko 2 shots. We got Reinhart for 3 shots. We have McDavid for 4, Bouchard and Hyman for points, Barkov and Reinhart for points. The other one I would include is Verhaeghe and Kachuk. We got Nurse and Ekblad for 2 blocks each. We're doing a little bit of a ladder there with Ekblad, and we have Draisaitl for 3 shots as well. I've given a couple unders. I told you guys proceed with caution. I think we got Ryan Nugent-Hopkins the other day and went back to him for the under the other night with him and Lundell, and it didn't get it. So just guess I'm not really seeing too many edges on the unders. All right. The 40-1. I do want to share the 40-1 with you. Why not? Let's go out with a bang. It's been a while since we've hit one of these. It's a lot of the same plays. I teased a couple down. McDavid 3 shots, Hyman 3, Verhaeghe and Reinhart 3. So those 4 for 3 shots. It's McDavid, Hyman, Verhaeghe, Reinhart. Then the following for 2 shots: Kachuk, Draisaitl, Bouchard, Tarasenko, Bennett. We have Ekholm for a shot. I think he's had 2+ in every game of the series, logging a lot of ice time. Him and Bouchard lead the Oilers in shot attempts in this series. Bouchard leads every skater in the playoffs in shot attempts. And then Darnell Nurse and Aaron Ekblad for 2 blocks each. That's 41 over at Bet365. Thanks, guys, for taking the time to hang out. If there is a Game 6, we will talk about it here on Mean Street. Subscribe. You get notified right away when I post this video. And if the NHL is over tonight, we will be heavy NFL moving forward, and that's going to be the case anyways with some NFL team previews. Get the live shows back here on Mean Streets. Appreciate you guys. Smash the like button if you can. Subscribe, rate, review on iTunes, and let the winners be yours on this Tuesday for Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final. Cheers.